Hello knitters, Barbara Benson here. I'm an independent knitwear designer who also likes to make videos here on my YouTube channel, Watch Barbara Knit. Make sure to check in the description notes below the video where you will find links to all of my online shenanigans, including how to get my patterns to knit up for yourself, how to join the Watch Barbara Knit Facebook group, we'd love to have you come join us, how to support me on Patreon, and where to get the Watch Barbara Knit merchandise. And today's description notes will be chock full of links for you to click on because to kick the year off, we have a Fave 5. Now, Fave 5 is where I pick a theme and then I browse through patterns and pick out the ones that just strike me at the moment that fit the theme. I am not saying that these are the top 5 best ones because there are so many patterns out there and pretty much I want to knit all of them. They're amazing. And it's just like if I were going to cast on right now the thing that is catching my eye. Now, to kick the year off, I said that twice now, I thought I would pick out patterns for you to learn something new. Now, when you're learning something new, when you're learning a new technique, well, you don't really want a pattern that's going to go on forever because it might be overwhelming. You need something small and you need something that you're probably going to finish so you don't like a scarf. You knit a scarf forever. By the time you finish it, you're really going to know that technique. But if you're struggling with the technique, you might get frustrated. And I was looking at different patterns that might fit into this category, and I narrowed it down to one particular type of pattern, which is a cup cozy. Now, this seems completely absurd, but it's something super fast to knit or work up. Though there's a surprise at the end. Super fast to work up, and definitely one of those things that if you don't want to keep it in your house, if you've got too many knitted or worked or crafted what kind of items laying around, you know what? Cup cozies are really easy things to give, especially with the prevalence of people people drinking all kinds of coffee drinks. They're super popular. But so these are both the sleeve style cup cozies, but also mug cozies for people. I mean, people drink tea, people drink coffee, chai is huge. So these are cup cozies. They take small amounts of yarn, small amounts of time, so you can learn something new because, hey, why don't we learn something new for the new year? Now, I will be looking off. I have 2 monitors set up and I have all the details pulled up on another monitor. So you'll see me looking to the side so that I can make sure I get all of the information correctly for you. So let's go right here and make sure I'm centered. To kick things off, we have the Cuppy Sweater by Romi Hill. Romi Hill is very well known for making absolutely gorgeous shawls, but she also does these really fun small patterns that are just, there's so many different things. I encourage you to look at all of the patterns by all of these designers. It's one of the reasons I do Fave 5. I would like to encourage you to find new designers and new exciting things to do. This is ridiculous. It is so cute. I adore it. She encourages you to use bright colors to go into the striping, but he's got this little going on. So this is the Cuppy Sweater. It is from her Acts of Kindness Oddments Knit Down 2. The Oddments, again, it's collections of small projects to knit down your stash and scraps. This is great for scraps. It is knit in worsted weight yarn on a US size 5 and a US size 3. That's 3.75 millimeter and 3.25 millimeter. I'm guessing that's for the smaller needle's going to be for the ribbing, like around the bottom and here because we have a tiny sweater, and says 40 to 50 yards of yarn. So it's not going to take you very much. Now, what is this going to teach you? If you have never knit a sweater, sweaters can be scary. Okay, and so this is gonna just be a brief, tiny introduction to sweaters, the structure of it exactly, and actually, believe it or not, it's a better kind of tutorial if you've ever been intimidated by tackling a fingerless mitt or a glove, because she says that the sleeves here are created using a thumb gusset style increase. So if you've been thinking about doing gloves, but you're not sure you like them and you only want to knit one, here you go. So, and she says, everyone needs something cute to knit. Enter the Cuppy Sweater for all the best dressed to-go cups out there. And she says, it's a great way to learn or to practice some techniques in just an evening and then have a fun little gift. So it starts with a tubular cast on, which you'll learn a tubular cast on. I've never done a tubular cast on. Worked top down. The sleeves are built like thumb gussets, and a jogless stripe is built into the pattern. So you would learn jogless stripes with this pattern. What that is when you're knitting in the round, the word round is a misnomer. You're actually knitting a continuous spiral. So what happens when you're knitting stripes is it's slightly offset, and that's called a jog at the joint. Like when you're starting a new round, you get this little jog, and she has a technique for jogless. So how to learn jogless stripes, and then a tidy sewn tubular bind off. So you're going to learn a tubular cast on. Tubular cast on, tubular bind off, jogless stripes, how to do a thumb gusset. So lots of fun. All you're knitting is stockinette, and you can use up some worsted weight scraps. Absolutely super cute. So here we go. This was the first one. Oh, I have another shot. Look at these. I can imagine a whole little soldier, like a whole little army of these guys just marching down. Absolutely adorable. You know what? Now, if you have a kid and you do end of year gifts, like in almost this summer, now might be a good time to start working on those so you don't do it last minute. So, Cuppy Sweater by Romi Hill. Our next one, how about if you have been planning on learning cables? You want to learn how to knit cables? This is Cozies by Cynthia Levy, and you can learn how to knit cables in a very small way. You're just knitting in the round. You got a little bit of cabling going on, and the pattern includes 2 different cable patterns. This one is a little more simple. This one, you're getting a little more complicated, but again, you're just knitting in the round. You're making this little tube. You can have it on and off the needles and be like, whoop, I know how to knit cables now. So that is fantastic. Now, this is Cynthia Levy. Name of her company is Red Tiger Designs. Again, this is worsted weight yarn on a US size 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter. And she says functional cozies will dress up those takeout cups from your local coffee shop. They'll protect your hands from overly hot beverages. They're a quick and easy project needing only leftover yarn and are perfect for last minute gifts. The pattern provides instructions for cozies featuring 2 different cable designs, but could be customized to feature your favorite cable pattern. So that's another thing. Once you've knocked out both of these cable patterns, maybe you might want to start experimenting with your own, and you can just work it into this pattern. So we can learn how to knit cables with this Coffee Cozies pattern. Super cute, and it's only $2. So that, you can't beat that with a stick. Next, okay, we're getting a little bit more complicated. Maybe you've decided this year, 2023, is the year you are going to learn how to do stranded knitting, stranded color work, okay? And also steeking. Steeking is when you knit in the round and then cut your fabric. I know it sounds absolutely terrifying, but what better way to try to do it than in a tiny, tiny coffee mug? So I'm going to go back here. This is the Winter Woods mug cozy. It's only 2 colors. It's going to be super fast, and you know, I'm not going to say easy because you've never done this before, but it is on the realm of stranded knitting on the easier side by Jessie McKitrick. Now, this is the yarn used is fingering weight, so we are using smaller yarn with this one, and it calls for a US size 1.5. That's a 2.5 millimeter needle, but again, you only need 55 to 60 yards. So scraps. I'm not telling you what the yarns are in any of these because these are for scraps. You're just going to use up some scraps with this. So this could have been like a dual theme. It's how to use up scraps, but also how to learn something new. And she says this sweet little mug cozy, again, great for gift. See, if you work on these, you'll have a small pile of these mug cozies for emergency gifting situations, or already be ready for the end of the year or a surprise birthday. Absolutely fantastic. So worked 2 colors in the round using stranded stocking stitch and corrugated ribbing. So if you haven't done corrugated ribbing, you'll learn it. And stranded knitting. The steek stitches are then cut so that you can finish the mug with a wee button band. Directions are included for enlarging the project or for working without cutting your knitting. So she also has instructions on how to do just a sleeve style as opposed to this button style. What you need is you need the button for a mug because you've got the handle, but you could just skip the whole steeking part and just make a sleeve like in the previous ones. So this says it fits mugs measuring 26 centimeters or 10 1/4 inches in circumference, with the height of the space within the handle measuring 1 3/4, but can be adapted for a larger mug. So there we go. She says you need tapestry needle and a 1/2 inch or 15 millimeter button and thread to match the project, and that thread is going to probably be used in the steeking process. So this is the Winter Woods Mug Cozy by Jessie McKitrick. I think it is super cute and will let you learn how to do 2 color stranded knitting and a little steek and sewing on. Maybe the thread's just for the button. Also, that's a possibility. But again, can be made into a sleeve. Now, this is something that I don't normally do in these Fave 5s, but I'm going to... This next pattern is similar because this Winter Woods Mug Cozy is a really 2 color, fairly straightforward stranded knitting. Now, if what you've been wanting to do is up your stranded knitting game, looky here. This is Mary Rose by Kingstone. And this one is kicking the stranded knitting up a notch. Again, this is a buttoned mug cozy. You can see it's structured differently, and this has a lot more going on. There's a whole bunch of stuff packed into this tiny project. So if what you're looking for, I wanted to have in here things that are great for beginning people, but also let's up the challenge. We all want to learn something new. There's always room for us to learn something new. This is Mary Rose by Kingstone. It is DK weight yarn. She said you're going to need between 25 and 30 yarns, but as you can see, you're going to need multiple colors. And she calls for a US size 3. That's a 3.25 millimeter needle. Now, this is one of 16 glorious designs in stranded knits, a superb technical manual and pattern collection that Anne created for Rowan Yarns. This book is available from all Rowan stockists. And I'm going to tell you, after I had already picked this and I was reading the description, I was like, wait a minute, I have that book. I have this book. And let me tell you, it is a fantastic book. She does absolutely stunningly beautiful color work. And it is a goal of mine to work up. This is like a project that I need to do because stranded knitting is not my bag. But oh my gosh, look at how beautiful this stuff is. And as I'm saying, this was just a coincidence. I didn't realize I had this on the shelf when I was picking this out. So this is so if you really want to get into the stranded knitting, this is a fantastic book. I've had it on my shelf for a while. I just haven't really gotten up the guts to do this stranded knitting. So as I said, we all need to challenge ourselves. This one has a lot of things you're going to learn in it. This cup cozy is a great little project for practicing stranded color work. But again, this is multiple colors. Looks like we got the yellow, the gray, the blue, the red, and even a little bit of green. So again, managing more than one color at a time, but then also you're going to steek in this. It has applied I-cord buttonholes, and so there's a whole lot. So I'm going to say you're going to be Googling and finding videos for this. Now, there are illustrated tutorials for these techniques in the book, but the actual pattern that you can download for it is free. So the free version is not going to have all these tutorials in it, but again, you can Google these things and find it. And again, this is for my more advanced knitters who are looking to up their game in stranded knitting. It's absolutely adorable. And if you want to steek something for the first time, it looks like a lot of fun. That is Mary Rose by Kingstone. And as I said, I had a surprise for you. We're doing something that I don't think I've ever done in a Fave 5. Maybe the thing that you want to learn in this new year, the new thing is a completely new fiber art. Crochet. Look how cute these are. Absolutely perfect for what we're talking about. And again, a very small way to enter into trying something completely new to yourself. These are the Lattice Have Tea. It's a pun. Lattice Have Tea Cup Cozy. First time I read it, I was like, let us have teacup cozy, but I feel like we kind of need a comma in there somewhere. By Sam Michele. So this is a crochet pattern. It's brand new. It was just published in November of 2022. It is calling for a very light worsted in cotton. And so apparently what they used is a very light worsted. So they're recommending you use a DK weight or very light worsted, 100% cotton. That is going to be great. And you're going to need 20 to 25 yards. That's not a whole lot. We're looking at a 3.75 millimeter crochet hook, which is the US F. They use letters, and says alternating stitches create a pleasing lattice pattern that will help you cozy up any mug. I'm thinking this is more of a cup than a mug, but whatever. Let us have tea or coffee or whatever drink makes your heart content. Suitable for a beginner, this pattern uses simple variations of half double crochet to create a more complex look. So if you've been thinking about learning crochet, this might be a really good pattern to get you started. It's worsted weight, small amount of yarn, variations on the half double crochet. So not gonna be one of the things I always, my eyes cross when I start reading crochet patterns is you got all this front post, back whatever. This is half double, even I can half double crochet. So there you go. That is the Lattice Have Tea Cup Cozy from Sam Michele, also known as Sandwich Stitches design, which is super fun. So there we have it. 5 projects for you to learn something new. Now, you might already know some of these things. Hopefully I've hit at least one thing that piques your interest, that makes you think, hey, maybe that's what I'm gonna kick the year off learning in a very small way. And again, wouldn't hurt to have a little drawer full of these cup cozies for emergency gift giving needs. And it's a way to burn down your leftovers and your stash. So, Happy New Year. I look forward to having a lot of fibery fun with y'all in 2023, and I'd love to hear what your plans are for the coming year. If they may have changed a little bit after watching this video, please give me a chat in the comments or hop over to the Watch Barbara Knit Facebook group where we can always chat and share pictures. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, click that like button, and if you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new video, please subscribe to my channel and select notifications. Thank you so much.